horrific footages about what is happening. It was second D, and our 1/4 it was second D where you monitor the course. Folks, Afima Memfa Mura Special Intelligence Report we the Christian community in Ghana, Mumama Sumraha, the Christian Council, the Pentecostal Council, the Charismatic Council. Please, tonight, lend me your ears. And of course, this is our special report, Yede Eba. We bring to our listeners and viewers this, our special intelligence report. May I say, beneath this report may be very sensitive. However, we must deliver it as it is indeed. Report here, maybe can you ne kwasem nie emu oyiram ensem bi nso mu a had dwene kakra nanso kwaku ense edi tudwa. But before me de betudwa no, let me issue this disclaimer here that this report does not, and it's not and cannot intend to denigrate or speak against any religious group in Ghana. I'm sorry, that's not what this report is about. But whichever, however, that the report is going to speak something about a particular religion, it is still, may I say, not intended to denigrate or cause any kind of ill motive to any religion in Ghana. It's rather unfortunate that the faces of it looks as though, fundamentally though, but any striking development, as it were, to cause any showdown to any religious group in Ghana. May I establish this quickly? Now, the 2024 general elections, which is barely left with 94 more days to go, is going to have one of its form, political, and the other hand, religion. Yes. And tonight, I'm speaking to the Christian community here in Ghana to be extremely vigilant and watch out in the coming events. Asima mekan na ne se se hwebria ye wo mi ya na chese akayen ena maako 94 more days na Ghana ne ye koto aba de to so biom ne kire se abana no se wo hwe na fa baako a eye politics inti na ese ye koto sa aba no wo hwe na fa baako bi nso a religion ebe play role. Yes. Na abeka say religion ebe play role ben. Wait a minute, me de wo kofie. Religion is going to play a fundamental role in the 2024 elections. Enunti miyi esomwa munye Kristo somwa mo Ghana ha no miyi mu asutre woni ema bi mo. Ebra no ye na ye nim yaka Ghana eye state ben yenye fully a Christian nation. No there be. But asemunu mu kura da ho ne kire se a Christopher ne doso. Ghana is a secular state, but the truth of it is that by statistics, a Christopher ne doso etching all the religious groups in Ghana, and it's undisputable fact. I mean, completely education be a sana assemblity. Inti si echeche ni omanu a si echeche accordingly because it is by numerical. A Christopher does then if you want them so na ba hwan so asem sanity. And inti na me shas me say nobody impugn any negative. He say your religious group be at loggerheads. Pacho tia nti Christopher am wo me mu ha tia na mo mamani we na maso emra ha. There is a grand conspiracy in the making to Islamite Ghana. Dedi kind no. Ote, me say there is a grand conspiracy in to ensure say Ghana would sooner or rather later anyhow. There's a group, there's a move to Islamite this nation. Now, let me give you this. Say Omino 6. By all, you say a secular nation, and not just say, strictly Omaya, Yakase, yeah, Yameson for. However, take note and the need that say a Christophone Dawson, Nanso Munye Christo mine. No. So, by these statistics, there is a move to ensure say any another idea. Let's take the full drive. And either we choose to make it a Christian nation or otherwise you make it an Islamic nation. Either of the two. They want to stamp an authority now. It is a Christopher no more swan. Mo no so. Now if ye ba be si fapem no. Uko baby a yes oh aha. Ye so and so uko Asia ho a. Obete they are Shintoists, they are Buddhists. The religion gives a clear cut of their identity. The religion is able to identify them who they are. So we call China says here. It's so clear that Chinese women are Buddhist. Oko India, women say predominantly they are Hindus, and that identify them. In our case, we are a secular nation, meaning say obia frefre koba. You need a clear-cut definition of who we are and our identity. But as I speak to you, 2024 elections, see the beku wieno, huh? Any baby baby two sanamon if you ma fixing who our identity should be. And here number one, to Islamize this nation. Number two, or secondly, to inculcate some portion of Islamic studies in our educational curriculum across the educational sector. Yes. There's another grand mover, that grand move, you know, and some sure say some Islamic studies and you may be no educational curriculum. No. What it means is that across the educational sector, no, you must be forced to study some religious Islamic studies in your maybe whatever that it is. I don't want to mention it, but it's a developing intelligence report, IEPBA. And I'm only to tell the Christian community, wake up and watch the space. Yeah. This I say, and may I again say and caution, it does not mean Islamic is a bad religion. Please. Tiasie, namen tiasie, eyobia ni nidiem. Obia ko nidiem. Other than that, you don't go to Israel today, tonight, and you see that there's a massive demonstration in Israel, in Tel Aviv, between the Israelites, the Israelis, and the Arab people. Now, so I didn't think chichemu asemintia. Asembe sunti no bia woni din. Send community, I say wake up. There is something in eminence. Number three, number three, apart from say Islamic doctrines will be pushed into Ghana's educational curriculum. Someone will say, not more educational curriculum, no more religion. Come on, ebane say na mu yi religion no efri mu. Mu nim dia moye. Napo, wo bepe running mate di ho. Hu yesre. Running mate. Ebane say na mu yi religious studies. Every educational curriculum, ebane say what happened? Do you have an idea? Okay, now they're about to substitute with an Islamic studies. Your son, your daughter will study it. This is a subtle intelligence. I had wanted to keep, but then there are more intelligence of this report coming, and we need to bring it to much. We have to go quickly up close with the Christian in Ghana. Wake up. The third one, there is a grand move to see to the biggest construction of mosque across all the 16 regional capitals shortly after election 2024. Afi sa mosque we ye be make sure say ye be see mosque akesi all the 16 regions ni ye ba be see mosques e wo ho. No, it would depend who wins election 2024. Say a basis some mocks now. A bit nipa 2024 abatono, across the 16 regions, we have copies of Nime Bibra, Mintimi Nenedin Chiramo. Number 4, some top-level Christian leaders in Ghana, may say, some top-level Christian leaders in Ghana will surely see the elements of surprises. Now, elements of the surprises. Now, on the back of these surprises would be like a religious war. So, I am cautioning the Christian body out there to watch out and look sharp. May say some top-level Christian leaders would surely see the surprises. So, now, on the back of these surprises would be like a religious war. It will not be a political war. A Christopher Asofa Kesiebi Waha, depending on how this intelligence will go, all up to the end of election 2024. If a certain leader is out or elected up, may say some Christian leaders, you would see the elements of surprises. And the elements of surprises can be countenanced on many levels. The elements of surprises in any womb, and your friend eliminate and by surprise. Then we say we are. The etat one, and yet to say, oh, some religious leaders were seen to be political. No. The element of surprises against these top Christian leaders would be what? Countenancing on what we call religious war. And your politics are some. They'll be taken care of. And none your politics are some. And some of these leaders, we have the list. And I'm sorry, I can't share with you guys for now. But some of them have picked the intelligence themselves and they know what I'm talking of. Some of them are watching the show tonight. Now, indeed, there is also an agenda to see to the implementation of the LGBTQ rights in Ghana shortly after election 2024. This also would depend who becomes the president of this republic. Yes. Folks, now, after election 2024, near 2 years, depending on Nipa or Babedi president, say Nipa would be forced to implement or pass a law. Law near pass, but when say there's a very good reason or bad reason why President Adodan Kwaku Annan still hold on to this, and they are using the court as a caveat. No, 94 more days tonight to go. They are waiting for something. Depending on sa leader Ghana be sa leader will be compelled to ensure that law is passed. Afi LGBTQ for omufa hundie ebeba. Say Ghana mo a secular state, and as a secular state, so why allow all free for all? No. They are going to use your own constitution to do something. It doesn't matter whether the person is an Islamic leader or Islamic person related or a Christian person related or no. They will force that law to come out. Now, if you move baby, quite deeper than this. There is also a grand conspiracy being hatched by the Western powers to use Ghana as a focal point, or if you like, to use Ghana as a focal point and a common denominator to champion the blueprints in the new world order, in the state of cashless world, as a form of improving technology, but apparently otherwise. Yes. Now, me person who exercise now. All the candidates now who among them is championing the cause of what he called the cashless world. Now let me bring you guys up to speed on something. You know why? It's not bad though to see technology say technology would enhance our way of and improve our way of life, but I'm sorry, no. The Western powers episode mu use Ghana as a common denominator in the whole arrangement. Africa. Now, one of the things some person who succeeded in getting it done, our world to go on the path of a blueprint, which is also enshrined in the NWO called the New World Order. Go and read the New World Order. Don't ask me. And this is where I bring this to Ghanaians. How lazy, and our inability to read and research and to know what is going on in this global world. One new world order anymore. Yes, the new world order blueprint is a blueprint and no and ever govern the next world and the next generation. Okay? And you know what? The new world order is being controlled by a group of a 13 family. The 13 family who controls the global economic power. Now guess what? The same blueprints way it's a blueprint that ever taking care of the next world and the next generation should be governed. And so, sooner rather later, the world is about to be ushered into the era of what we call the ecumenical world. The ecumenical world means what? One world religion. Then from there, we go to one world what? Currency. And then number 3, one world religion. Case closed. And the Christians can what? Trace this in the same Bible they wrote to you in what? Revelation 13. And that is the human number. And especially when they take you to Revelation, and the Revelation 13 beneath, it's like then the coming of the Antichrist will come like Ohonibi. And the Domoka Catcher Christophony Nana say, oh, and the Antichrist neighbor. Obeba not wabe my numbers. Say, into a young say, Obeba to say nipa. I know when you be new PF Punumu, and I knew a bit on not success but not to say no bar. They will quickly refer to the Revelation 13. Now I'm will be done also. Sana yo, Traho. Christians are forgetting themselves. Now me be a question. Who among the candidates or who contested for these elections or spearheading this agenda? Go and find out why. May say who among the candidates or spearheading this agenda called the cashless world? Or not? Is it the most sad part of it is that the leaders in Africa themselves do not even understand the kind of policies here they show will be implemented. Because I tell you what, the global world in a move called the next generation. The continent are slow down this agenda. Now, what they are trying to do is that they are trying to take some leaders in Africa, push money to them, force them to implement all kinds of policies Ebema Africa adjoining the rest of the global world so that they will implement their action plan. Go and read the New World Order. What does the New World Order says about the next generation? Then you go and read the 13th family who controls the global political economic power. Blueprints and saying, "Hey, busuya kuoben, omo ye 13. Omo ne control we say." All right? And everywhere in the world, you will see their remnants there, representation. And to Ube say, sometimes even governments around the world, the manifesto is omudibu or minor, and you know mudibu. They are governing the nations around the world according to a certain what code, a global manifesto, which of course enshrines in the New World Order agenda. The ecumenical world is coming very close. Make us say the Pope of Vatican or shares a move now, and that was in 2015. Many people didn't know that the Pope had spoken to all the religious groups around the world, including the Russian Patriarch. Every religion in the world will come under the umbrella of the ecumenical world. And Sanya will move into the cashless world. Nano, the end game is not to ensure say, the world should have peace or no. And Sanya the one world government, all according to these blueprints, will be taken care and will be spearheaded by the United Nations. Yes. There's another, I will take you through. Kwaku is preaching conspiracy theory. We are. We name their worker. There's a lot. na me say asemwa ebe to Ghana no e Christopher no mama manimre. The Christian community in Ghana me say mama manimre enye wadwen say oh obi de sebe enam religion nti e bia ye ma no kwan ma za na wadwen yo. They are using him, that same religious whatever that it was independent. They are using him to activate what you call the cashless world. What is a cashless world near Deben? To help us do business easy is true, but there's an end game to it. A big brother sitting somewhere in Washington, and here the world is in his palm. He turned the world this way, that way. He sees what goes on in Africa. He turned the world this way, he sees what goes on in Asia. He turned the world this way, he sees what goes on in Europe. You are joking. Do you know how many years, quantum of money the US government has spent in implementing what you call the MMR, the multiple micro electro array, which is a small implantable chip, which sooner or later you be infuses up chip way and on every human being born by a woman. And your inability to have this chip will simply not give you access to any government building, including aircraft, trade, buy or sell. What are you talking about? Do you know the next world here come? And the leaders in Africa have no clue. They are just using them keke. And I'm say Ghana hano leader bang and a Western powers initiate your person using the SR. The Christian community wake up. There means that other group of people associate to Islamize this nation. Now, all of the above intelligence number they are to Hamamono. A group of nations around the world who have come together to ensure the commissioning of the above projects. And I tell you guys, folks, it is not just a joke. It is a terror yet to befallen this country called Ghana. A community. The Christian community in Ghana, I am speaking to you, the Pentecostal, the charismatic, the Orthodox. Please search for your own. Don't joke. Me say the Christian community, search for your own. The Mudiagra, a disaster that is about to fall this nation. And you joke. Nigeria. Do you know why the Boko Haram still exists on the neck of Nigeria? Do you know a group of some Arab nations who feed the Boko Haram the money, the resources, and do you know what they are doing? Their footprints in Ghana? Please. A Christopher I am said Diabia, ye peja sikabidi amamona, ama sebi said Diabi namusu, me say wake up. Now many of you, that the list we have, the elements of surprises stare at your face. You joke. Folks, this is our intelligence report ye deliver the amamo. Emu huye. And you may pigum eba. Now you see, adeba committee say Ghanaians in your assessment mo leaders no mobile contest election. Have you assessed them, their religious background, who they are? There are lots of leaders are mobile. Many of them were the satanic world already. There are some leaders, if you allow them, they are taking the nation's sovereignty, the nation's spirit, the nation's pride on the altar of Luciferian, on the altar of occultism, on the altar of what? Satanism. And tonight, I'm going to mention one. There's this young guy who wants to contest. I really had not wanted to do this. But I want to ask him, Ghana for. Abrante my friend Nana, what's his name? Nana Kwame. Vincent Bediako. Me talk back no cry here. Nana Bediako. Wherever you are. Brana Kantre Ghana for. Which secret court do you belong to in London? Bisa Osasemo. Nana Bediako alias Sheda. Me say, which secret court does this boy belong to in London? Yeah, the Ghana show on say, baby, I swear to God, yeah, more time, come and speak to Ghanaians. Nana Bediako, me say, which secret court does this boy belongs to? That is one. Number two, that symbol of that caricature mask in your occult world, what does it mean? I will expose you naked if you don't come out. Me say, sir, now or the other two board no so in his occult world no what does that mask what does it mean, what does it represent? Nyama 3 parent big go afi omema day and time na organize a festival called it the Sexual Orgy Festival in Ghana. What does that festival means? So our program now here no net as saying these are leaders are udi on my beshomonsa. And I'm sure that this guy hasn't spoken ostensibly about what he's going to do if Ghana is giving to him about his position on gay and lesbian rights. Go and watch. Go and find out. The Sexual Orgy Festival this boy organized. Oh, Ghana. Are you aware? Sheda. Me say, which secret cult in London do you belong to? What is the name of the cult? Bemayen. Sa Infonine. Sa Ohonine. What does that represent in your occult order? But the movie I make a short break. Me back. Ghana Speaks Extension picks up. This is the front line with Kwaku Annan, your investigative journalist. I'll be right back.